It's the first weekend in August. I'm going to take a look at the trees. So, pear tree, looking good. The pears are pretty good size. Some of them are almost the size that I would expect from last year. Some of them are smaller, some of them are actually bigger. But we're still probably at least a month away from harvest. Traditionally, around the 1st of September. So, but being as how this season's been weird, we'll have to see how it goes. But because there are some, for some reason, pears on the ground. There's 3 of them right here, and another one I saw in the yard. One of them back there too. One of them over there. So we'll have to just see what's going to happen with them. Their harvest might be moved up due to the early start we got on spring. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that. But there's a few things going on with the tree. Some weird crappiness in the leaves. And some weird thing going on here. Brownish stuff. But overall, it looks okay. It's very heavily laden over here. You'll need to address that sometime either now or in the spring pruning, but this is definitely getting low and heavy and dragging on the ground, so we'll have to look into that. Strawberry patch has gone nuts. If you don't remember, there were 9 or 10 plants there this spring that overwintered, and now there's 50. So I'm going to have to go thin that out, and this particular variety really goes crazy because the story was last spring, cleaning out the patch in the front, I pulled up one plant, a single plant. I put it back here. By the end, when I went into the dormancy, there was 9 or 10 plants, and that's where we started the spring with 9 or 10, and now there's everywhere, and you can see the little guys everywhere. So I need to come in here and control them, otherwise it gets so thick that you can't really see them and take care of them very well. So cherry tree, big, and not much going on with it, but it's still big there, and obviously you can see the part I need to take off of it. Some of the leaves are yellowing and dying, but just a few, so don't really know what that's about, but it should be okay. What's crazy are these sunflowers here. These sunflowers, as you can see, are almost the same height as this part of the cherry tree and part of, basically, except for those stupid things hanging up, they're the height of the apple tree. So those are, amazing. They're starting to form their heads now. If you can see up there, you can't see the heads themselves. You can see the fact that they're starting to put those, the mass is starting to form. Like I'm sure you can see there, there's starting to be a mass, and that's how we know that it forms. And actually, if we look back at this one, on this side, you can see the head forming. It's open, and there's bees around there and stuff. And the one next to it is starting to developing, but not yet open yet. It's crazy, amazing. This is what I love about the whole gardening thing. This giant thing, was a little sunflower seed. One sunflower seed, a single sunflower seed, planted a few months ago, and now it is about 1.5 inches around. It's basically like a small tree. These giant leaves, this giant head, and all in a few short months. It's amazing. Anyway, apple tree, got a lot of things shooting up there, which we'll obviously have to take care of. Fruit is developing, but almost all of it has damage to the outside from insect or like this. I don't know if that's a bird strike or if it was the chunk of hail from when we had the hailstorm this spring or whatnot, but almost all of them have some sort of blemish on them. But I've been spraying, protecting for the codling moth as per the recommendations, but that's all I can really do. So we'll just have to see how they turn out and see if that's damage is just surface deep or hopefully not deeper. So the peach tree is getting pretty loaded. with the peaches. They're coming in really nice. Now, most of these also have damage as well. And these are actually starting to get some blush on them. So once again, they're also going to be traditionally the beginning of September, but it might be earlier than that. But all of them you can see have this kind of damage where there's these little spots, and this you can tell where the sap has oozed. The juice has come out and crusted it. So I thinned a couple last week, took it and just kind of dissected it to see if that was like the entry hole of a bug or something. But there was nothing beyond that. I sliced the flesh away and there was nothing more than a millimeter in there. So no tunneling insects or whatever. So I don't know what it was, but like something just bit the outside or whatnot and it sealed it up. But it looks, doesn't look very pretty with all those holes, but it does look as if it's going to be okay on the inside. So we'll just have to see. And since we peel those before we eat them anyway, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But yeah, but some of them are starting to get that blush. That's means they're getting closer. And then with the other pear tree here, basically same thing. We've got the fruit developing, getting pretty good size. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. Some of them are starting to get like a red color to them, so we'll have to see how that is going to work out. And then of course the apricot tree, going crazy. I have to get in here hopefully today or tomorrow and thin some of this out, as well as this, and just spend some time with the trees. It's amazing. Yeah, this is all new growth this season. So it's probably 6 feet, but this is all stuff that I had cut back. So I'm going to do some summer pruning here to get this back, because I never did any pruning on this at all. And as you can tell, it's pretty obvious I didn't, but I need to trim this back, pull it back, get it under control, because it's way too high. Even if it had bared fruit, it would have been a big problem to get it, because it's so far out there. But anyway, that is what we've got as far as the fruit trees this week.